This channel has definitely evolved from just making reaction videos to making other forms of content, like talking about movies. This is a big one I've done lately on the channel, and I just gotta say thank you guys all so much for the constant support on these types of videos, because I definitely enjoy making them. I love doing these videos where I talk about movies, whether they're the ones that have some weird effect on me or just talking about them in general. I really enjoy making these type of videos. I'm still gonna keep making reaction videos. I also just enjoy making these type, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback on these types of videos. So thank y'all so much for all of that. It means so much to me. But with all that being said, we're gonna talk about today's movie, or the topic of today's video is the movie Insidious Chapter 5. I just watched it, and first and foremost, I thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of people said it was bad. I could definitely see why people thought it was bad. There were definitely some things about it that weren't the best, but there were some things about it that honestly weren't bad at all. And I'm going to talk about it. So the first thing here is Insidious Chapter 5 follows the Lambert family 10 years later after the second one. So there's 5 chapters of Insidious, obviously. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 and 2 focus on the Lambert family. And then 3 and 4 are their own can of worms. They're their own type of, their own individual movies, basically. And then Chapter 5 goes right back to the Lambert family. 10 years later, the oldest son, Dalton, is going to college. If you don't know, Dalton was the main focus of Insidious Chapter 1. And then Insidious Chapter 2 was Josh, the dad. And Insidious Chapter 5 kind of brings them together in, like, those situations together, essentially. And it's decently made. I definitely enjoy it for the most part. The focus on this one is the red-faced demon. If you don't remember from the first two, the red-faced demon was the one haunting Josh, and the haunting Dalton, and then one haunting Josh was the Bride in Black, which, side note, I'm absolutely terrified of. I'm terrified of the nun and the Bride in Black. I don't know what it is. It's just, she just terrifies the hell out of me. And spoiler alert, in the 5th one, so like there's no need for the Bride in Black to show up because the Bride in Black does not follow Dalton, but Dalton goes into the further and relives a flashback from the second movie, and they quickly flash you the Bride in Black for no reason at all. No reason at all. I was actually doing okay in this movie. This was the one. Insidious is one of the only horror movies I can sit through and not look away or get scared for the most part. It is, and they flash the Bride in Black for like half a second. You see it, and it just pisses me off. It just pissed me off. I was mad because I didn't need that. I did not need that in my life. I had just reacted to the Nun 2 trailer. I don't need the Bride in Black. I didn't. So they flashed out in there for whatever reason. I really don't understand the whole reason in it. But other than that, I wasn't mad. I wasn't really disappointed in the movie. The reason I say I'm disappointed with the Bride in Black is because I'm terrified of it, and I didn't want to see it. Didn't need to see it. Didn't have to see it. Really didn't want to see it. And I had to see it. So I'm kind of a little frustrated with that. What ends up happening is, in this movie, Josh has gotten a divorce from his wife. I honestly cannot remember the wife's name, because at the end of the second one, the psychic erases Josh and Dalton's memory of everything that has transpired, all the hauntings, all the demons, everything. And actually what happens is it causes a strain among the family, because in the second one, Josh is possessed by the Bride in Black, and he goes to obviously kill his wife and his 2 kids. Now, see, Dalton remembers his dad attacking him, but he doesn't remember his dad being possessed, because that was wiped from his head, which really seems kind of dumb. The guy wipes the memory of like the dad being possessed, but doesn't wipe the memory of the dad going ballistic and trying to kill them all. That just caused for trouble down the road, if I'm being honest. So Dalton ends up growing to hate his dad, and actually talks to him about, like, you tried to kill us, you attacked us, and it's obviously the memories come back throughout the whole thing. One of my favorite things about it is Josh ends up going to his ex-wife's house, and we save a whole bunch of exposition in the movie, because the next thing we know is Josh gets possessed by the red-faced demon because he's trying to go into the further, and the demon takes over his body. And then the dad just shows up in the further, you know, despite the fact that like 5 minutes ago he was talking to his ex-wife about all of his memories and everything that happened and whatnot. So like, he gets all that dumped on, and then goes right into the further to rescue his son. Now, kind of the weird thing about Insidious Chapter 1, 2, and 5 is they kind of go back and forth. In the first movie, the dad goes in the further to save his son, and then the second one, the son goes in the further to save his dad, and then again, the dad goes in the further to save his son, which is a pretty simple recipe to follow. I mean, they could definitely make like 10 of these Insidious movies following that same thing. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Especially since they don't actually vanquish any of the evil. Like, they never vanquished the Bride in Black. They never vanquished the red-faced demon. Even at the end of this movie, they don't vanquish the red-faced demon. They just gets left in the further, which doesn't stop them from being haunted, essentially. So it seems like the problem here is you're not vanquishing the evil. You're just closing the door, basically. Now, I still enjoy it. They definitely, with the red-faced demon, they definitely went more with a rugged, like, devil look with him in this movie compared to how he looked in the first two. Like, the first two, he was literally a carbon copy of Darth Maul from episode 1 of Star Wars. And this one, they actually added in, like, blemishes. They gave him, like, some depth in his face and everything. A little bit scarier in this one. I can still watch this. I can still watch him in this movie and not be scared. It's the Bride in Black that gets me. It really is. Dalton ends up getting possessed, and it's like a maybe 10-minute thing. Like, the dad goes in the further, finds the area where Dalton's, like, astral form is being held, which is the same place his younger astral form was being held. And then the further is not, like, only a place where the afterlife is. It's also, you can walk through time. Because when Josh goes into the further to find his son, he sees a flashback of the first movie when he's carrying his son 10 years prior out of the further back to their bodies. So the further is now like a time travel thing. Maybe it's always been that way. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been. Maybe I didn't follow that in the first two. Now, there is another thing in this movie that I didn't really understand. So, in the first two movies, it is never brought up about Josh's dad. It is never brought up anything about it. And this one focuses on his dad. His dad's spirit ends up haunting him after his mom passes away. And so it's revealed that his dad killed himself. And because he could see the Bride in Black and thought he was being haunted by it, which prompted him to kill himself because he thought if he killed himself, it would make it so it would stop haunting him. But to me, there was no point really adding that little detail in because it was already established in the first and the second movie, in the first and second movie, that the Bride in Black was haunting Josh because Parker Crane, who is the Bride in Black, was wanting to take his life, wanted to possess Josh as a young boy and take his life and take over as him. And it really, to me, didn't really make any sense to have the whole dad thing in the fifth one, you know, where he thinks he's being haunted by the Bride in Black. Didn't really add anything to the story because we already know the Bride in Black was following Josh and haunting Josh. We had that whole thing in the first and second one about it. So that's something I didn't understand. It was kind of cool to get that little detail in there though about why his dad wasn't around. And I don't know if they had that in mind when they made the first two movies. I really don't know. Because I don't know how far ahead they planned these movies out. But it's not a terrible movie. I'd recommend watching it if you like horror. It definitely still relies on loud noises and jump scares to get you. And if you're desensitized to that, then you should be just fine watching it. But it's definitely an enjoyable movie. I think they talked about some main points of it. So feel free to go check it out if you want. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and rate movies. Like, I don't want to sit here and say, like, go watch it immediately or don't watch it. Again, when I talk about movies, guys, it's all up to you if you want to go watch them. I just like talking about them because, for me, I thoroughly enjoy doing these type of videos. I love being able to talk to you guys about movies I watch and everything about them. So, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. I'll see you later in a brand new one. Have a good day. And as always, stay awesome, everybody.